London.
Nicholas the Ridiculous.
I just want you to know something special.
I just called to say,
Coast to coast.
let's do this.
What's up, man?
Nothing, just stealing my child's Capri Sun.
Oh my God.
Don't ever do that again.
I'm gonna do it at least 2 more times. Now, before we get going on air like this right now, we do that whole, like, subscribe, comment, share. We do have a link tree. Click on it. Buy some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It would mean a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It really would.
We would much appreciate it.
I keep waiting to get the good news. Hey, dude, we made, X amount of pennies today.
I keep waiting to be able to give that good news.
Right. Oh, man.
People are checking the store out, that's for sure, but nobody's pulled the trigger yet.
Yeah.
Beans, bullets, and
If
Band-Aids.
they told us. Say what?
Beans, bullets, and Band-Aids.
Beans, bullets, and Band-Aids.
There's Beans, bullets, and Band-Aids.
Beans, bullets, and Band-Aids. That's it.
That's right. SHTF.
That's right. People are going to know what that is, right? Shit hits the fan.
I think it'd be cool if it was like kind of like a TikTok video. It told you how many people actually looked at your Linktree store or whatever, like, oh, we had 10 people check out the store today. We know why no one's buying anything.
I don't know. Maybe it does. I never paid
That
attention.
way. Well, I'm thinking that way we can see, hey, our store got 10,000 views today and not a single thing got sold. Wow, our shit must really suck. Figure out why nothing's going out.
It's probably because they're saying that they're looking for us to be hitting into a recession soon.
Oh, that's not surprising. All I know is I got a paycheck coming up at some point in time in the future. I'm gonna buy some stuff from our store.
Oh, I want to so bad.
we could always offer like discounted gas cards.
Ooh. Hey now, you're a rock star for this. I like that.
I don't know how we do that. I mean,
does anybody else still drink their children's Capri Sun, or is that just me?
If we have any, I'll drink one.
Dude, I love this stuff, man. I got myself the Pacific Cooler. It was one of my favorites as a kid. We got the old, cherry and the kiwi strawberry in there.
Ooh,
I took a kiwi strawberry for lunch today. I sure did. Heck yeah, dude. My whole 5 minutes that I had at my work day today to scarf food down. Got there at flipping 6:30 in the morning, left at 5 p.m. and had a 5-minute break. It was an amazing day. Came home, mowed 95% of my big old backyard and went, oh, I got to go do a show. Perfect time to go jump in the shower. Oh, man.
I've had 2 days of working underneath things and my arms and hands going numb and cramping and burning. It's real fun.
Yeah.
That 5% you didn't do, Brandon, is that like a patch of grass right in the middle of the yard? I'm just curious because that's where my
where is that
going.
5% at?
It's kind of off to the side. So,
like, if it's only 5%, how did you not just go front?
Well, okay. So, how I told you a while back? No, I don't have an electric
mower. He's got a gas one again.
Ferris, not anymore. I got a gas mower now. Thank you. It ain't much better than the electric piece of crap that I had. But
unicorns.
I know what he did. He left a little landing strip.
Oh yeah, that's what you did.
Yard.
Wow.
I see what you did.
Whoa.
He didn't mow all the
did.
grass.
You
He left
did.
a little landing strip.
You did the grooming on your.
Okay, get your head out the gutter, get your mind right. I'm just saying. Okay.
For Ferris's drone.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool. That'd be cool.
Is it an arrow?
That thing would have to have some massive battery power. Come all the way
Is
out
it
here.
a piece of pie? What is it?
No, the little patch that I didn't do. It's not really a little patch. It's a decent for most people. It's a front yard sized patch of lawn. But
I should
I
call.
figured out the issue with my mower and why it was just spitting grass everywhere. The little bag that comes with it that you put on the back that catches all the clip-ins and everything. I can get halfway down my yard before that thing's full. It takes a
got one
while
of
to
those
mow the yard
black-
right. I was out there since 6 tonight. And I came in at 7:45, and like I said, I got 90-ish, 95% of it done. I still got a front yard size patch of grass that needs to get mowed.
You know, if you mowed your grass timely, where it's not like a forest, you wouldn't even need to catch it. There'd be little clippings you could just let.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if it wasn't either A, a torrential downpour, or B, 115 freaking degrees, and C, it didn't take me to mow, it didn't take me any longer than 30 minutes to mow, I'd be right there with you, buddy.
I'm having that same problem. Every time I can mow, it rains.
Dude, I can mow the yard, go out 2 days later, and it's still going to take me an hour to mow the yard or more. It's a big yard, just saying.
Have you got one of those little handy dandy black things that helps hold your garbage bag up so that you don't have to hold your garbage bag and try to put all the clippings in the garbage at the same time?
I don't know what you're talking about. I just throw my clippings over the fence in the neighbor's yard.
What if you take the handle off your mower, take a bike and take the front wheel off and mount the forks to the mower, and then you could ride the bike and mow?
That'd be fun. That'd be easier. That'd be nicer. That'd be greater.
There you go.
Yeah, no. No, Mary, I've got 2 big green yard waste bins that I just dump all the clippings into. They're ginormous, big old toters. So anyway, what are we doing?
Whatever you want to do.
Got a plan, or are we just like making shit up as we go? What are we doing? I don't know. I don't have a plan. I just come here to hang out. I don't get paid for this.
You get paid in enjoyment.
Oh, okay.
You should be wealthy. No.
Oh, man. Well,
so I kind of suggested something to try out going towards our 3rd season's coming soon.
Yeah, the homework assignment that you didn't do?
I tried the best I could. It's I was looking for something specific.
How do you suggest them to do and then you don't even do it? I mean, what is that? It sounds very political to me.
Sounds like something Ferris would do.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
I did that once.
Or 5 times.
Recently. Once.
Anyways,
I did it once.
During a week, we all just kind of pay attention, and if you hear something that's like, hey, that really catches you, we talk about it on the show. It could be a news article. It could be something that happened to you during the day that makes you think of something. It could be anything.
Yeah. I didn't hear of anything. I didn't look up anything, but I kind of had a thought.
Be careful.
I know. I'm about to get us in trouble again. I'm just saying, old TikTok and YouTube and FaceSpace and all those other places out there going, those coast to coast guys, we're just not going to push their content. Okay. But, no, I was thinking about it. And the thing that I want to bring up is this. Gentlemen, specifically the boys out there. Okay. Owen, put your ears on.
Hey.
I know you're out there listening somewheres. Times have kind of changed a little bit. I don't know if people have noticed yet or not, but they're pretty
kind of getting
interesting.
Idea.
Yeah, things are getting interesting. But what I want to talk about just super quick is essentially my opinion on a relationship, if you will. Okay. For the most part, I think that gone are the days where, the man went to work and the woman stayed home and took care of the kids in the house and made dinner and all that other kinds of shit. Are there still women out there that want to do that and are willing to do that and do that, in fact, yes, absolutely there are. Even in today's day and age with the youngsters out there nowadays. I say youngsters, I'm fucking 36 years old, but you know, whatever. But it's one of those things where I find it interesting that there's still dudes out there that go to work, come home, and fully expect, right? Clean house, laundry's done, dishes are done, kids have been fed, and a hot meal ready and waiting for them. Motherfucker, your wife was out there working a full fucking day too. Shut the fuck up. Get over yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. When was the last time that you decided you were going to do something nice? Hey, I'll take the kids to school tomorrow. I'll pick the kids up from school tomorrow. I'll make dinner. I'll do all the dishes. I'll vacuum. I'll mop. I'll clean the fucking bathrooms. Today's day and age, things need to be shared, so to speak. There's a caveat to that, though. Okay. Right now, I'm kind of advocating for the ladies. In a second, I'm going to advocate for the dudes. And here's why. Ladies, no offense, love y'all, but I hope women out there, or at least some women, understand that they kind of set themselves up in a way. Because let me ask you this: when was the last time your man asked you to vacuum or to mop, or asked you to clean the bathroom, asked you to go to a grocery shop, and asked you to take care of the kids, asked you to run the household? When was the last time you asked your significant other, your husband, your man, whatever, to take the trash out? Hey, honey, the trash is full. Can you take it out? Hey, honey, tomorrow's garbage day. Don't forget to take the cans down to the bottom of the driveway. Hey, honey, I've had a really long day. I don't feel all that great. The kids are taken care of, and dinner's in the microwave, but I'm going to go lay down. You got everything for a minute? The fuck are you talking about? You don't feel all that great. Dinner's in the microwave? Okay, whatever. But you want me to take care of the kids? You look like you're doing okay. What do you need to go lay down for? Right? Like, I don't understand how people can't see that there's two sides to a relationship. It's a two-way street. It's an agreement, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
My wife and I have this thing, and we set this up when we first moved in together. We set the ground rules. We set the boundaries, right? She's not going to take the trash out. That's my job. Okay. I'm not going to do the vacuuming or the mopping or cleaning the bathrooms and all that shit.
Hell, you ain't
And in turn for that, she doesn't have to do any of the outdoor yard work. Okay. When I'm done with my dinner, I clean my plate off. I put my plate in the dishwasher. I do my own laundry. She takes care of her laundry. We kind of share with the kids, right? As far as their laundry, picking up the toys and all that kinds of shit. And I fully understand that she's got a full-time job. I've never asked her to make dinner. God bless her heart, she still does. There's one day a week where she doesn't, and it's a fend for yourself kind of night, and I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, we have those.
It's totally fine. And every once in a blue moon, when I got a wild hair up my ass, I'll actually make dinner for her, for me, for the kids, right? She doesn't ask me to. I don't ask her to. These are things that we set forth at the very beginning of our relationship 13 fucking years ago, right? There's too many dudes out there that are not understanding their wives, their significant others, are also working a full day at a job where they're underpaid, underappreciated, overutilized, and overworked. But they still expect them to come home and do all this shit. And then when women want to throw a fit, again, like I said, you're kind of sabotaging yourself. You're setting yourself up for that, not failure, but for that proverbial argument that's going to happen, because since day one, you just went ahead and fucking did it, and nobody ever set any fucking ground rules. Relationships are a two-way street, people. Okay? It takes effort on both sides. Right now, I'm talking about chores and shit, and obviously there's other things that are way above and beyond. I'm trying to keep it simple, right? KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. But that's all I wanted to say today.
Okay.
If you're having an issue with your relationship, look inside first.
That's right.
Just saying.
Takes two to make a thing go right.
FYI, I piss my wife off all the time.
Don't we all?
Anyway, I don't know. What do you think, dude?
I agree. It's not the same as it used to be. It used to be like you back in the day, the woman had her place, the man had his place.
Mhm.
But with times the way they are now, you work together. You're one.
Mm-hmm. It's a
Whatever,
partnership.
yeah, whatever you got to do to make it work. If one's slipping, the other one's supposed to pick up, and it's supposed to be vice versa.
Mm-hmm. You don't just get into a big old argument and then give up on each other.
The
That ain't
problem
how
is
it
it's
works.
the problem is on both sides though, because the men do it, the
Mhm.
women do it, the involved relationships are both doing it.
Mm-hmm.
They're all
Key
looking for that.
is communication.
Communication, is that what you're saying, Mary?
Yes, that's the key.
I that's a
Yeah.
part of it. That's definitely a
Just,
part
you
of
know,
I think
from
there's a couple
somebody
of
who's
keys on
been
that key
married
ring.
for 23 years.
it. Well,
I'm
actually, you know
pretty
what?
hopeful.
Communication, love and understanding, and sex.
How did I know you were gonna throw that in there? How did I know? Well, I think Mary brings up a good point about communication too, though. Like, I'm sure there's people out there, like, you feel like you want to talk about something, but you don't want to bring it up to your significant other because you don't know how they're going to react. You're afraid, you're this, you're that, you're the other, right? You should be able to talk to that person, of any person on the face of the fucking planet, about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're in a position where
anything.
you're afraid to talk to your significant other, there's something wrong.
Well, and the
Mhm.
thing is, as you grow and you change, your relationship changes. I mean, you
Mhm.
grow as individuals, so you can either grow together
Mhm.
or you
grow
can
apart.
grow apart. Exactly.
Yep.
And if you don't keep the lines of communication open and let each other know, hey, I need a little more downtime or a little whatever
Well,
from either party, if you don't let the other one know what you need, nobody, as far as I know, none of us are mind readers.
All
You
right.
don't know this unless you say it. So speak what you feel. And if you're going to speak to anybody, your partner, your helpmate should be the one that you can speak to.
Absolutely. And also, don't forget to turn on that brain to mouth filter before you speak, though.
oh boy.
Like, I, think about what you're going to say before you're going to say it.
I know.
Okay.
You know,
Just
I've been growing apart,
Yeah, well,
but
Oh, you growing a new tail there,
I
buddy?
don't know what it is. I probably should have a doctor check it out.
I knew you were going to go somewhere with that. What you got, Ferris?
I had one comment about the relationship discussion, and it's obviously personal experience and all that. But my marriage is awesome. I mean, we do. Brandon was talking about. We find that middle ground, and our middle ground every day, time wise, it's never the same. It's that you have to give 100%, or it's 50-50. The 50-50 thing is not accurate for me. It's you give percent when you can, you give 50 when you can, and they want to give the other 50 to equal that 100% in the relationship. And it varies, 60, 40, 30, whatever. But my point, what I was saying was, there's one thing that really stands out for me as a spouse or partner. I guess monitoring the other partner's or spouse's time. For example, you can't put a catch-22 in their life because they spend their time. For example, if you go to work and work 12 hours a day, you're making the money, but you're not spending the time with the family. If you're not going to work 12 hours a day, you're not making the money. We need better things in life, but you're spending time with the family. It's always the negative that comes out first about what's not being done, and not so much what is getting accomplished.
Yep.
That's true.
Focus on the good.
Also
And the other
in a regular
thing going with that too is be appreciative of what that person's doing. If that person's putting in the time,
Right.
if your wife is working a 12, 14, 16-hour day because she's in some kind of an executive position or whatever, right? Understand that she's doing that not because she wants to be away from you and be away from the kids. She's doing that to put you in a better position, financially speaking, because that's what needs to get done in her mind. Right? She's doing her part to take care of the family. Gentlemen, if that's the case, step the fuck up, do some other shit. Now, if just throwing this out there, let's say she's working 12-hour days and the gentleman in question is also working 12-hour days, that's a little bit of a different story. That's where that communication Mary was talking about is going to have to come in play. And you're going to figure out who's going to do this and who's going to do that. And how are we going to work together as a team, as a familial unit, in order to accomplish the goals and the tasks at hand to be successful, not just at work in our careers, but at home where it matters, because that's the person that you chose to spend the rest of your life with. Because what I'm referring to as relationship wise is with marriage. I'm not talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, fling on a weekend type thing. I'm saying the person that you are going to spend the rest of your natural born life with, the one that you entered into a contractual agreement with. Okay. Whether
Well,
it's an emotional agreement
it's
or
equally
one on
important.
paper.
I think it's equally important. It doesn't matter what level of relationship you're in. It could be a partnership in a business. It could be siblings doing a project, whatever. Because if you don't respect the way somebody time manages, like for example, if I were to work 15 hours in a day and I got home at 9 o'clock, all of a sudden I'm present at home and accounted for. And now I'm available to do things that are not my, 9 o'clock. And my spouse may think, okay, you're home now. This needs to be done. This needs to be done. This. Forget about the fact that I just worked 16 hours. All right. It's like, and then when the argument ensues, it's like, well, you're never here with the kids. Hold up a minute. It's because I'm making a paycheck. And it's not a one-sided thing with male or female. I know females that work long hours and they can't get home and do the things that they're supposed to do because there's not enough hours today. And I guess the message is don't assume or don't provide a catch-22 for your partner, no matter what degree that partner is, and put them in a where it's like, well, you're not here, but you could be here, but you can't be here. So why aren't you here? It's right there. It's why they're not there.
Yeah. Don't make them feel like shit for doing what they got to do to provide. And there's just one last piece that I want to throw in on this is kind of along the lines of what Farrah said. Regardless of how many hours out of the day that you just put in at work, when you get home, you're home. Okay. Just because you're home doesn't mean that the work has stopped. It just means that your job has changed. I've got 2 kids and I've got a wife, right? I've got my job that I go to during the day to earn a living, to afford to pay for the things that we have and put food on the table and clothes on our backs and then all that other kinds of good jazz, right? But when I'm home, I also have a job. My job is to be the best husband that I can possibly be and be the best father to my children and give them all everything that I possibly can of my time, my energy, myself, right? And do the things around the house that need to get done. Just because I worked a 10 and a half, 11-hour day doesn't mean that I'm not going to go out there and mow my big ass backyard for my son's birthday party coming up in 2 freaking days. If that's what I have to do when I get home, that's my job when I get home. I'm still going to hang out with my wife. I'm still going to hang out with my kids. I'm going to love on them. I'm going to hug on them. I'm going to give them big kisses and we're going to wrestle around a little bit in a different way with my wife. You know what I mean? Okay. But at the end of the day, I still have a job to do at home aside from my job that I just did all day long. And that's the thing. Like that's who we do it for. That's who we get up in the morning and go to work for, is for those people. So when we're here, they deserve for us to be here 100%. That's all.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes.
You're making us all sound really bad.
Sorry, buddy. I love you.
The rest of us. I mean,
hey, don't get me wrong. I have my moments where I fall privy to the stuff that I'm being all preachy and shit right now, right? We can get my wife out here and she'll tell you she does 95% of the freaking housework. And that's true because more often than not, I'm at work, right? She does do the majority of the house stuff. Like I said, she does the cooking and the cleaning and all that stuff. I mean, nobody's a perfect fucking angel. I do what I can, but there are days when I get home and I'm like, I just need my chair and the TV. You know, everybody has those days. She has those days too. And when those days hit her, guess what? I step up and then boom, it's my turn. Take over, do the dinner for the kids, put them in the bath, put them to bed, all that kind of good jazz. So it's a two-way street.
If you're like normal couples, you both have those days every day. So what do you do then?
Good point, right?
Well, if that's the case, I think the best thing to do would be to just put the kids to bed, wrap meow, and go get your rocks off so you feel a little bit better.
See, I think that's
come
where,
back regrouped and ready to go.
Right.
I feel like that's where a lot
Little
of
Johnny, go
problems
play in your
stem from.
bedroom for about Daddy needs 2 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work to do a relationship.
Oh hell yeah. And that's the thing, dude. Like I'm not a relationship fucking expert or anything. I ain't no life coach or any of that crap. This is just personal observation. Like my parents' relationship is exponentially different than my wife and my relationship. My dad, lucky, he ain't got to lift a finger, but
That's a different
he does
generation.
a ton of shit that my mom doesn't do. Right?
I don't think it's just generational. And I'm not trying to start any controversy here, but for a long, long time, I took care of the kids, the house, the bills, all of that.
This is
Joseph
before you're talking about before you got lazy?
Before I got sick. Thank you very much. For 17 plus years, except for feeding and watering the dogs, taking the trash out, which those were the kids' chores. If it was inside the house, I was the one that took care of it. Bills got paid because I paid them on time.
Way to be a woman.
I raised the kids. I took them to the ball games.
Wow.
Bud. Way to be a woman. It's not just a generational thing, is all I'm
gonna
saying.
Whoop your ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna come to New York.
On the way.
Anyway, I think we beat the proverbial dead horse enough. Who's got what are we talking about next? Let's do something different.
All right.
It's not all pipe up at once or anything. Okay.
All right.
Increasing
I know
number
Ferris
of divorce
is bound
rate.
to have something.
Increasing number of
I
divorces.
do, and I do, and it's totally opposite of what we were just talking about. But that's kind of the point, I guess. Jump all over the place, squirrel as many times as can.
Squirrels.
Courtesy of Amber helping me out. We talked with this, talked about it a little prior to the show. I don't really know a lot about the ruling. There's a 6-3 ruling in the Supreme Court on Wednesday that Border Patrol agents are generally shielded from lawsuits that allege the use of excessive force. Meaning that now, and I'm paraphrasing, but I read it correctly, they actually there's a buffer zone around the border of the entire United States where Border Patrol agents have this, I'm not going to say like total shield of being prosecuted for using excessive force, but they have this ability, much like a game warden, to enter home when they want to or need to without any repercussions, basically. I'm not going to say much more than that because I don't know exactly what all they're able to do without a warrant, without any of that. Border Patrol agents now. So my question with this is, why is this even a need? Why are they giving more power, the judicial side, right, the Border Patrol, when at the same time they're trying to lessen their authority, Border Patrol agents on the border? This doesn't make sense to me. What do y'all think?
I think that's because that's how the game's been played with our system for years and years and years. It's that whole, hey, look what's going on over here. Look what's going on over here. And then you miss what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think the stuff that we are seeing nowadays are things that are put in place that are intended for us to see, so to speak. Right. We had that whole, it's funny that you mentioned the border patrol, because we had that incident with the horses and the whole whipping thing, and we talked about it on the show not that long ago, right?
Yeah.
And then come to find out, they're like, oh yeah, everything's fine, and we even made mention of it. It's their reins. It wasn't any whips or anything like that. It was the angle of the pictures, and they weren't actually doing anything excessive, and they were found to be not having done anything excessive. But again, I think it's just the way that they're playing the game, because to the people that are, let's just say here, right? This is a game. For us down here, this is real life. The decisions they make here affect our real life. And there's certain consequences, and in order for things that they want to get done up here, they got to lead us over here. Hey, look what happened with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Pay attention to this for however freaking many years it's been now, because the whole thing started in 2016. And then it just blew up over the course of the last couple months, right? Well, what happened during that whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing behind the scenes? Nobody knows unless they were behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So I think that might have something to do with it, Ferris. I know that's kind of like a shitty answer. It doesn't answer your question at all, but you know,
if it also
lost a lot of food facilities. Anyway, go ahead.
Wondering if it's also something similar to the idea, since they're really wanting to take away authority because they're trying to let the people in, that maybe they're giving them a certain authority to give them a chance to screw up, to give more case to getting rid of them.
That would be kind of a conspiracy
about getting rid of the
thing, a little backdoor action over there with them gerbils.
Yeah, with the fucking gerbils.
Gerbil.
Always with the gerbils.
You know, that's two shows in a row that Brandon actually brought them.
Yeah, the one who keeps wanting to quit when I say it.
Maybe it is, and I was the biggest advocate for letting the gerbils die. Did you see how happy Nick got? He leans back in his chair. He's like, "Oh, he did it again." I mean, come on, you got to make the dudes dead.
Yeah.
Bullets, beans, band-aids, and gerbils.
Bullets, beans, and gerbils.
No. Oh my god.
Nick doesn't need band-aids.
I think that is interesting though. Like, it is kind of a I don't know what is that, like an oxymoron or whatever, right? Where they're like, hey, let's take away the power from these people, and then behind the scenes, essentially, they're like, ooh, we're gonna give them a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe Nick's actually onto something. I have no idea. I can't talk on it. I haven't seen the article, but I think that is an interesting thing to have found. And if I have time, I'll look into it, because it sounds like something that I'd be interested in following if I can find 5 minutes to go down a rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole.
Basically, it's what I understand is they look at the history of the Border Patrol and how they've not been allowed to do their thing, whether it was state level, federal level, whatever. They haven't been able to keep certain people from coming into the country that's not allowed to come to the country, right? And then you give them the authority to go into a United States citizen's home, business, whatever, without any, checks and balances, no warrant needed, whatever. That doesn't forget about the opinion on whether it's right or wrong. Two actions doesn't make sense to me. It's like they nix each other out. I don't understand that. It's so here's the last point that I've got. This may be a whole different topic, fill out some time, whatever.
All
But
right.
just this story alone illustrates what I said in a chat the other day. I'm done with media source. I'm done with information source. There's no way to tell unless you have boots on the ground, people you trust that you know are going to tell you what they saw, what they
Yep.
experienced. It's hard for me to trust anything anymore.
Yep.
Even this article, I don't know what to trust or not. It's from The Hill. I know them fairly well, but I don't really follow them a whole lot. I don't know how accredited they are, but what media outlet is these days?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm disgusted with it all. I'm done.
I hear you on that,
Yeah.
on that part. Having spent the last, 4 or 5 months, since I got my new position at work, I don't have as much time to go down those proverbial rabbit holes anymore that I was able to go down before. And I mean, you know me, I would see one thing and then I'd cross-reference it 86,000 different times from every single source that I could possibly find, and then try to figure out what the truth is before I would ever talk about anything that would be mentioned, whether it be in a private social media group or on here with you guys, or hell, even just on the phone, right? Having not had that time in the last few months, I am so disconnected with what's been going on in the world that I'm at that same exact point too. I don't have the time to do all the cross-referencing. I don't have the time to go down those rabbit holes. And quite frankly, I don't have the energy anymore for that. And having not done it for so long, it's kind of nice. I gotta say, I'm like just living blind in my own
Isn't it
little world
nice?
here.
That's why I did that
Right?
for years and years. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And now Nick's the new me. He's the
No,
one
I'm
that's
doing it, and
going
it's
through
like-
all these articles and everything, sending them out. Hey, what do you think about that? I don't know, bro. No, I'll
You know
check
what a
it when I
lot
get
of
to
it's
it next
doing?
month.
A lot of it is it's like refreshing my brain of why I didn't care and I didn't look into it. Oh, this is why I didn't listen to this shit.
Yep. I will say that taking the break from the social media and the news articles and stuff that I've gotten just by happenstance of getting my new position, I've come to realize again that the majority of the shit out there is negative anyways. It's negative in nature. It's depressing. It really is, dude. Like, when was the last time mainstream media blew the top off this huge story and it was just plastered all over every single social media site, every single news outlet, radio station, TV network, newspaper, whatever, of a good deed that somebody did?
Solely.
There's no money in that. Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
You
Yeah.
got it there, Ferris. Ain't no money in it. Ain't no money in it. And I think it's really hard. I don't know how I want to put this, but I would imagine, okay, that it would be really hard for good people to stay good when all they ever see is negative.
It is depressing.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sad. I quit.
There's
Okay,
a
you're fired
simple
anyway,
challenge
Nick.
out there. There's a simple challenge for anybody that's watching for you. Oh wait, that's all of us. Anyway, give it a shot. I've done it the last 2 weeks, and on the weekends, I don't worry about. I treat it like job versus home. When I go to work, but somewhere between 30 minutes, 45 minutes on my commute, I switch mentalities. I'm no longer thinking of home. Unless my wife's called me and I'm talking to her, but I'm home. And then on my way back home, I'm not thinking of work. So on the weekends, I don't think about media. I don't think about stories. Somebody may tell me, and I have had to. It's like don't run the football game that you watched that I didn't get to watch. I haven't watched it yet. I'll tell them, oh, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I will deal with that Monday. And you can slowly see what 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, when we didn't have this super fast informational stream, it kept us kind of worried all the time, and we're not happy. Well, as a society, we are not happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's because of the amount of information that we absorb and misinformation. You don't know what's right and what's wrong, so you're left
Exactly.
worrying constantly.
That's why we're always so careful whenever we're going to bring up like a current event topic. You don't know anymore. You could research for 12 hours and still not have found the actual truth.
Not only that, but
this is what
nowadays,
happened.
when they do something or say something, they can immediately say, "No, I didn't," and now you're
Mhm.
misinformation because no, they didn't, even though
Yeah.
you actually just did.
Right. I like what Ferris said though about driving to work. I'm not thinking about what's going on at home. I'm thinking
I
about
wish
what's
I
going
could
on
do
at work.
that.
Driving
wish I
home
could do
from work,
that.
I'm thinking about what's going on at home. I'm not thinking about what's going on at work. And that brings it back, I think, full circle to the whole relationship thing that we were talking about earlier. When you're home, I really like that, Ferris, because that's your time to be present
how
with
it
the
should
people
be.
that you love the most in the world. You're absolutely 100% right. You shouldn't have to be worried about, oh my God, gas is up to, six something a gallon right now, and at certain locations, and this and that and the other, and holy shit, the whole Russia and Ukraine,
Yeah, and
what
just for the
happened with
record,
that the other
I'm
day.
not.
Like, you should be able to focus and be in the moment
I
with
wish
your
I could do
family
that.
without this shit being jammed down your throat.
Getting
I
rid of
am
the
absolutely not advocating. I'm not advocating being ignorant to reality.
Yeah.
Right. When you go, like you said, when you go to a gas station, you
I
jump
will.
out, you're on your way to, I don't know, a ball game or something, and you have to put $100 in your tank, like I do, and think to yourself, oh my God, you can't avoid that. Right. And I'm not talking about that. Like, once you get back in the vehicle, you get back and focus on what you're about to do, whether it's or whatever. Try to forget about. I mean, it's there. We get it. It's there. Not going to change anytime soon. We're always going to have these worries. All I'm saying is try to find a day or two of the week. Maybe it's a Monday to Tuesday, depending on where you work, what your profession is, or your time schedule, whatever. Just pick a day and this has nothing to do with being religious or anything. It's just, and get away from it all. Just get away from it. Find that happiness. You can start over, revamp. I don't know when I started doing that, but I think it's because the company I work for, they're big on work-life balance. They ask their employees to get about the job when they leave the job. Leave the job, focus on your families, focus on your personal life, and when you come back the next morning or after the weekend, we'll be ready to work.
Yeah,
I think they figure psychologically, if they can push their employees to do that, then they'll get 110% of work time and work effort focus as a payment, as a repayment.
Yep. Yeah, I tell my staff that I manage now, hey, when you're not here, don't even think about this place. Like, that's my job, right? When you're here and you're on your days off, enjoy your days off. If you've got time off and you want to take a day, that's what it's there for. That's why it's called paid time off. You don't need to come to me with an excuse of, hey, Betts, I got this and this and this and that going on. I really got to take the day off, such and such and such. No, just let me know. Hey, I'm gonna take next Tuesday off. Okay. Like, I don't need you to tell me why, right? I'm not gonna micromanage the shit out of you, because I want you to do whatever you got to do to regain your freaking sanity, so that the next time you come into work, you're ready to work and you can hit the ground running. And like you said, Ferris, give that 110%, because taking care of ourselves, making sure that we're okay up here, right, as well as physically capable to do the job, i.e. getting the right kind of food, getting the right kind of sleep, all that other kinds of good shit. Everything comes into play. Everything's a factor. Taking care of yourself should be the number one thing, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of the ones that matter. Just saying. And there's also that saying that, and I love this saying, I've been using it for decades now. Work to live, don't live to work. When you leave work, work's done. Just saying.
Mary, I know you got something to say real quick on that. That's to do right now with everything we're dealing with. And for me, it's compartmental everything. You have to try to figure out how to set those things aside so they don't run your life. They don't it's not about worry and happiness, right? You got to separate that. You got to find a way. It's your own. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna go nuts. What you got, Mary?
I was just going to say that makes me think about my thought for the week.
Ooh. Subject change.
Yeah. Well,
That was a good thought, Mary.
kind of a,
All right,
it was
next.
kind of a lead in. Yeah. Yeah. How did I know? Anyway, so my mother-in-law is in hospice care at her home, and Saturday, me and all three of my boys and hubby, we all went out to the river and saw her and spent time with her. And I think that it's beneficial for somebody who is not in great health, especially if their mental faculties are not all there, which she has Alzheimer's. They need to be in the surroundings that they're used to. When you take them out of their environment and put them, and I know in some cases you can't help it because you need other care. Like you might have to put somebody in a home. But what are your thoughts about home care versus putting somebody in like a residential facility?
I think
Essentially, we all want what's best for the person that we're caring for. But what it's going to come down to is what we can and cannot afford. And that's the heartbreaking truth of today. Like, it's just there's no way to work around it about what we want. Like, we have to just work harder for what we want, and still just something that we can't get.
Good point. Because a lot of the times it is economic. But say
give that
that
man his cookie.
yeah, exactly. Somebody send him a
Amen,
coffee
brother.
crisp.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's definitely
But say money is
circumstances
not
do
an
have
issue.
a play for sure.
Say
You say
money is
money's not
not
an
an
issue?
issue. Are you pro keeping somebody in their environment that they know and that they feel safe in, or pro
In that case
sending
though,
them to another
so
place where
you
they
have
have round the clock care? But
you have all the money in the world, right? Money's not an issue. I got you there. Okay. But if money's not an issue, then generally speaking, the more money you have, the less time you have. Right. So time is still going to be a circumstance. Do you have the time to invest to give this person the level of care that they need? If you don't have enough time to be there to properly take care of that individual, and you've got all the money in the world, you should probably figure out a way to get that individual taken care of. Right. In a perfect world, you would have all the money in the world and all the time in the world and all the knowledge in the world on how to provide for this individual in question. If the three of those don't line up, you're probably going to need to be looking for some outside assistance. Now, if that's getting somebody to come to the house to assist, which is actually what my grandmother does for a living, she goes out and takes care of, it's interesting, she takes care of people that are literally her age or
yeah,
really
my mom does the same
close
thing.
to it.
Yeah.
So you can do something like that. I mean, retirement homes are what they are. My great grandparents ended up going into a retirement home, but that was their choice. They wanted to. So for
They
me,
went
there's
in
too many
together?
factors. Yeah, they went in
Okay.
together.
See, if I could go, I think that's different. I think when you've got a family member that can go with them, that's different. If you've got a couple and they go together, that's one thing. But for me, if you take somebody out of their familiar spot,
Natural habitat.
yes, thank you, Ryan, and put them into a completely different environment, they tend to go downhill quickly.
I think it does add a fair bit of stress to that
It-
individual, because now they've got to get used to other people who are around that are complete strangers. They've got to develop a level of trust with these complete strangers. Then they've got the other people that are at the facility. So they're essentially also trying to make friends and see where they fit. It's like high school all over again when you're in your 80s and 90s. I would imagine their stress level just goes up exponentially. And I'm sure that would be a contributing factor to what you're mentioning, or at least I would think it would be.
Yes.
In a way,
absolutely.
it's not that different from, I mean, I know we joked about it a little bit ago with, I said natural habitat, but if you think about it, like what we do with wild animals to try to domesticate them or try to put them in zoos, it's not too dissimilar from how we treat people at some times.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too, we got a thing in the chat here, if they're at a facility where they've got 27 or 24/7 care, you can make their rooms at this facility full of their stuff so it's as familiar to them as possible. And I understand that. So they might feel some kind of solace or whatever when they're in their room, right? But the second they step out of it and they go into that hallway, they're still in another world. They might as well be on a different planet. So that's
with
a
every
tough,
person,
that's a
it's gonna
really
vary.
tough one. What's that, right?
And with every person, it's going to vary.
Yeah. Oh,
Every
yeah.
person's
Oh, yeah.
situation.
Absolutely. Nick, dude, you've been awfully quiet over there for Mr. Host of the show.
I can't get a word in. It's one of those. I feel like I'm in a group of women.
Oh,
Stop that.
I'll just, you know what? I'll cut my hair tomorrow just for you. Okay. I'll see how it is. You want to chime in on this, Nick? What do you think, dude?
I don't know. There's also other factors. Who in the family has the ability to take care of said persons or person? Can you even do it?
Yeah.
Not just financially, mentally or physically. Can you handle it?
Yeah. Or do you know how? Do you know how to
Yeah.
give them what they need?
Exactly.
And a lot of people think they can, and then have it's a harsh reality saying they can't.
Right.
Or the surroundings. Like, say there was a situation in our family. Say the person you need to take care of could like pass at any minute. Do you try to do it at home when you say have little kids that don't really understand death yet? And like, what if the kid comes home and the person's gone right there?
Yeah, lots of X factors there.
Yeah. So it's a lot of factors to it, in my opinion.
Mary, congratulations. I think you got the toughest question of the day.
Well, at least
Just
I
say.
did something. I don't know if it was good or bad, but at least I did something.
I hate to say it though, if you do need to put them in a home, you better research your homes. There's people who help you do it. I got a buddy that does it for a living. Because there's some really good ones and there's some that are.
Well, yeah, you ever seen the movie Happy Gilmore?
Arts and Crafts has been extended.
Hey, Grandma, you know that Mr. lady?
Now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty.
Is it just me, or does he sound exactly like him right there? He sounded just like Ben Stiller. That's amazing. Oh my God.
Well,
that's fantastic. So I know we're coming up on towards our time or whatever.
Where we're at. There's some times I wanted to say something, I couldn't get a word in, and I can't remember any of the things I wanted to say.
Well, in that case, I
All
won't
my
ask
fault.
you. It usually is. It usually
know.
is, Mary. Yeah,
That's
we
why
understand.
I
We're
just-
used to it now.
That's why I just went ahead and owned up to it.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the Ferris's thing because I wish I could be like that. I was like that to an extent, but my brain does not allow me to shut down like that.
When you come home, do you bring work home with you?
Yeah.
Why?
It's not choice, dude. It's my family and work are all the time. Wherever if I'm at work and I'm trying to do work, I'm thinking about shit at home or what I got to do. When I'm at home, it's nonstop.
So what you're saying is when you're at work, you don't want to actually be there because you'd rather be at home doing all the things that you got to get done. And then because you spent so much time at work thinking about the things that need to get done at home, when you finally get home, you think about all the shit that you weren't able to accomplish at work. So it sounds to me like you just got to get a goal. You got to accomplish all these little goals while you're at work, right? Make sure that everything does get done in the order that they need to get done. That way, when you go home, you don't have anything to think about over there.
No.
check off
That
those
was-
boxes.
That was hard to find.
I've been doing a shitload, dude. Like today, I knocked out the last 2 days. I really should say every day. I'm knocking out tons of shit.
But are you still thinking about all the shit that's left to do?
Always.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, dude, is instead of thinking big picture as a whole, what do I have to get this thing done and completed? Break it down into days, right? Like, here's what I'm going to get done today. This is what I'm going to do tomorrow. This is what I'm going to do the following day. And that way, at the end of every day, you've checked all those boxes. You've accomplished all of the goals that you set for yourself for that day. You can go home feeling accomplished and then be in the moment and present at the house and not have to think about all that shit that you got to do tomorrow to check off the boxes until tomorrow gets there and you're at work.
It don't work that way for me.
Well, okay.
Because
You're
the problem
screwed.
is, I am. Because
Go
the
to
problem,
camp,
problem
damn
ain't,
it.
it ain't just a job, it's what the jobs are. So, yeah, I completed my things for today, but the job I got to do tomorrow might be something fucking crazy. And I'm in my head going, how am I going to fucking deal with that tomorrow?
No, I hear you. I'm kind of in a similar boat because I go into work every day with a plan of action on things that I want to get accomplished. I'm like, I want to get A through F today, and then the rest can wait till tomorrow. But damn it, I'm getting this done today. And then I get to work and I got 56 different people all coming to me at the same exact time. Hey, by the way, this needs to get done like 2 weeks ago. Okay. You're just now telling me? Awesome. Let me put my shit aside for your stuff. Got it.
And the only way I can do like
Thanks.
you guys is I got to have that day where I say, you know what? Fuck it.
Go to camp.
It's not easy to do. And when I go to camp, that's when I'm able to do it the best.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, when we talk about doing our games at night to try to shut ourselves down, it's when it gets crazy, that's what I got to do. Because if I get into a game or whatever, I'm no longer, it's not there. The game is there.
Well, and that's the thing, too. Everybody needs to find whatever it is that can get you that reset.
You got to
right?
have it, man.
So that
You'll go crazy.
you can dissociate or disassociate yourself or whatever from whatever happened at work. For some people it's a video game. For some people it's watching TV. For some people it's reading a book. For some people it's getting home and then going straight to work and doing work around the house, because that's a different kind of work and it makes you whatever. For me,
Some people it's getting other people's business.
thank you, Mary. Anyway,
I did not say a word.
For me, I like what Ferris said about on the drive home, think about what's coming up when you get there. I'm one of those guys where I'll admit I don't actually do that every day. I try to, but it's difficult because when I drive home, I have an hour commute. So I drive home and I'm thinking, okay, let me get these last thoughts of the day from work done and out of the way. Is there anybody that I should have contacted today and followed up with on whatever project is going on that I need to call, because I got a really long drive? And I essentially finish my day, so to speak, on my drive home while I'm listening to the radio somewhere silently in the background to begin that decompression. But for me personally, when the workday is done and I'm not thinking about it anymore, is the second I step in the door, I put my lunchbox down, I go find my kids, and then pick up my son, give him a big old, great, big, huge, gigantic hug like I have never seen him on the face of the earth before. I've been doing that for almost 5 years now, and then turn right around and do the same exact thing to my daughter. And her face when she sees me, and she just lights up, and he lights up. He comes running, and she's over there like, hi.
I get that from my dog.
Yeah.
I walk in the
So-
door and Red's all up on me.
Basically,
Yeah, so for me, that's the
your commute
official end of my workday.
gives you the opportunity to kind of take the proverbial work hat off and put your
Basically.
home hat on.
Yeah. That's the only good thing about having such a long commute, is it allows me to process everything that had happened throughout the day.
Yeah, I don't. I drive
Yes.
like 2 minutes and I'm home.
I know, and that's, I think, part of the reason why you're so fucked, dude,
I-
in that regard, because you could walk
I don't
there
got
in
it
5 minutes.
to you.
You know,
I
it's right around
agree.
the corner. It sucks.
Because when Joseph stopped going to work and started working from home, I could tell a difference. He didn't have the commute. He didn't have that time and opportunity to take his work hat off and home hat on.
I worked from home for about 2 years because of the whole, pandemic and all that jazz. And I'm telling you right now, that was a very difficult adjustment, an extremely difficult adjustment, because my workstation for work was exactly where I'm sitting right now for almost 2 years, knowing that work is right there or on the laptop if I want to work inside today because it's too hot in the garage, right? Knowing that work was literally just that far away. Oh, that tortured me for the first like 6 or 7 months. All I ever did was work. It sucked really hardcore. And then I finally found the balance. I'm like, okay, schedule my day out, and then at 10 o'clock I'm gonna go mow my yard because I don't have anything planned, and once I started incorporating little things like that, it was a little bit different. Now my work day got longer, right? I was still logging in at 7:30 in the morning, but now I wasn't, quote, logging off till 7:30 in the afternoon, because throughout the day I was taking those breaks since I'm already home and accomplishing other tasks. For me, that was the balance that I had to find. That's what worked for me. Is that going to work for everybody? No. But yeah, the first 5, 6, 7 months of working from home sucked. Oh man, that was tough. Like I would legitimately, I'd leave to go like grab McDonald's, and I felt bad for leaving my house for lunch. I felt bad. It was weird. I hated it.
Okay, I got a round robin quick question that everybody just has to, off the top of their head, give their answer.
7.
5 plus 2 is 7.
5 plus 2 is 7.
So,
Each cobbler.
with everything going on,
Ooh,
it's like this.
Apple pie.
We're talking gas prices, all right?
Gas prices. Okay.
So there's all the things going on about why is it up, why is it this, why is it that. In everybody's mind, what is the biggest reason? Boom. What is the biggest reason our gas prices are
Electric cars.
American people.
Electric cars.
Failure to use our own resources.
Everybody's jumping on the Elon Musk Tesla bandwagon. They have a Ford F-150 electric truck now that retails at some ridiculous freaking price. How are you going to get people to buy those vehicles? Jack up the price of gas. Boom. There you go.
I think it's a mixture of the Mary and Brandon answer. I think not having our domestic, like the Keystone Pipeline, for instance, being shut down is at the core a problem. I think
that started it.
That part of that is a reason to, they're saying economy or whatever the fucking words are. I'm getting all crossed here. The environment. They try to use as part of it. But I think
real quick from the chat. Let's go me. Yay.
So I know this is gonna sound like kind of out there deep, and if it does, I apologize. But I think all that's correct. But I think the root cause is that this is why I said the American people. We as a society are not educated. We're not informed, and I know that contradicts what I was saying about media and gaining information and researching. But that's the thing. Go down that rabbit hole. Do your own research. You got the responsibility, not the privilege. I mean, we have the luck to be able to have a quote unquote free state, but do the research and find out for yourself and determine something. I think you'll find what you originally thought with being ignorant is completely different once you're no longer ignorant, right?
Well, and let's not forget, Ferris, that there are now subjects that are no longer taught in schools that should be. There are also subjects in schools that are being taught differently than how they've been taught historically speaking. and cancel culture.
That's my point. That's my point. Don't remain a part of the, and I'm not going to say sheep because that's one of those things that triggers people, but it's basically don't be a part of the masses.
Yeah, don't
Separate
be a pawn
yourself
in the game.
Yeah, and find out. And if your ideal or ideas are a result of your research and that is still the same way you thought before, fine. But you can say, I looked into this, okay? I actually now have an educated opinion. That's the point. We don't have educated opinions. We just have opinions.
Well, let's also
as a
mention that
society.
looking into it and going on doesn't mean just, okay, the guy on CNN said this, so that's my
Yeah.
you gotta go
yeah.
a little further than that.
Yeah. If you're gonna look at something and you're gonna truly choose a side, you better get the full story from both the side you're gonna choose
Search it.
and the side you're gonna disagree with before you come to that decision.
And then the people in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've heard, and I'm really not trying to get political, but I have to use an example. I've heard several people that I don't even know on different social media outlets say, it's my opinion that Donald Trump did nothing to help the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's ludicrous. You could even say the same thing about Biden, but there may be things he's done that has helped. I haven't seen it, but that's my opinion. It's not educated because I don't know everything.
I gotta say,
I don't know everything's been done.
I know you all are gonna find this hard to believe.
I did that.
Coming from me, you're gonna find this hard to believe, but things are actually looking up with Biden right now.
That's what I'm
For
saying.
real.
There are
For
things
real.
that
Things are looking up. They really
there
are.
are
Gas
things,
is up.
yeah.
Food is up.
Just look up.
I mean, hey, just saying, chemtrails are up in the sky.
Anxieties are up.
I
You know what's not up? His approval.
we have a Senator Kennedy. I think he's a senator. Anyway, he made a comment yesterday, I think, on Fox News. I can't remember who the interviewer was, but he said that with the gas prices the way they are, and I've heard this joke before, but I couldn't believe the senator said this. With the gas prices the way they are, it'd be better off for everybody to get on crack and just run around where they're going.
Yeah, it'd be cheaper. You sent me that little blurb. I watched it.
Yeah.
Dude, that was hilarious.
I would
loved
never
it.
thought a senator would say that,
Right.
but I mean, it's hilarious.
Oh, you know what they're going to say now? They're going to say that senator in question, oh, he's an advocate for drugs. We'll see. Anyways,
I got a damn punchline for a joke, but I can't figure out what the joke is. So you got to do it. My punchline is Dwight Wokem, because it'll woke people.
oh my goodness.
Wow.
On that note, thanks for being here this week, y'all. We really appreciate it. We
Dude,
hope you enjoyed the conversation.
I want to mention a little bit of a quiet, shout out so we want to know.
Okay, shh.
If you noticed a new voice on here, that's our best buddy, Rai.
Right.
Oh, how?
Make mention
Hey.
for all those out there. We have another little friend here that
We do
joins in.
have another behind the scenes individual. Yes. We're growing, even though our audience isn't, people.
Be quiet. You say we're growing, the Rai's gonna get all flustered.
Well, he's
Good, I was
growing in
getting
a,
paid for
he's-
this, right?
he's growing in a different way. I'm just saying. But yeah, seriously, I think today we touched on a number of things that we don't normally touch
Wait a minute.
in our conversations. I'm just saying.
Can't
have
to be
Ferris
like that.
say that that's being discriminatory when you say we're growing?
Well, just because he's not.
That's the short of it. Yeah, pretty much.
And on that note,
No, like,
everybody
subscribe,
make sure-
comment, share, and nobody commented on our last episode is awesome. Go watch it, comment on it, tell us your feelings, and then come watching this one.
and then with this one, we want to hear y'all's answers to the stuff that we're talking about too. We want your opinions. We want your feedback. If you think we're giant bags of ass, go ahead and let us know. That's totally
Yeah,
fine. It's not
easy
going to
say.
offend us in any way, shape,
You
or
guys are
form
giant
because at
bags
least
of
that's
ass.
engagement.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I love you too, pal. And until next time,
Peace,
stay
y'all.
good. Go Go buy some of our stuff.
Please.